My very good friend and hiking buddy John and I spoken often about undertaking the big one, the end-to-end, John O Groats to Land's End. We were set to do it when we had enough time and life wasn't quite as busy. We planned routes and schedules for years and were committed to doing it. Oh, he's definitely going to do it. In 2021, John was diagnosed with prostate cancer. Despite a defiant and brave battle, passed away on May 18th, 2024. During his valiant and determined fight, John and his family were helped and supported by St John's Hospice of Lancaster, both by the at-home team and during respite stays at the hospice building. When John sadly left us, the hospice was once again there to provide care for his wife Adele and her children and grandchildren. 1 year later, on 18th of May 2025, nearly to the hour of John's passing, Adele, her best friend, my wife Diane, and I began a charity hike from John O Groats to Land's End. The goal was to raise funds for the hospice to support its ongoing work, as well as to honour John and acknowledge others who had benefited from the hospice's services. The name amongst hikers for this war is JOGLE. So we've just said an emotional farewell to John. Farewell to John. We would be certainly in spirit. It's exactly a year to the morning that he passed, the 18th of May 2024, 12 hours before now. And it is very emotional. We're all choked. Get going. This is JOGLE. So that was quite emotional, and I was for once I was short for words for all sorts of reasons, but just knowing that more than just John would have wanted to do this walk, and I'm sort of, I'm going to use the word privileged. It sounds a bit trite, but I fortunately can set off on this attempt. It's a long way to Land's End, and it's certainly not a shoe-in by any means. I just said goodbye to the girls now. We all walked down to the sign. It's about half a mile from where we had the camper van, and then we walked back, and I've just set off on my own now. So just on the first mile. Yeah, it's certainly not the day that we expected after we arrived yesterday, because it was blue skies, it was pretty warm, a bit of a cool breeze blowing, but overall in the sun it was very warm. But this morning woken up to grey skies, even a little bit of rain in the air, and it's certainly 10 degrees or more less than it was yesterday. But it is early, it's only 8:30, so, or thereabouts, so it's entitled to be a little cooler. I've got the high-vis coat on. First time I've actually walked in this. I think I've paraded around the house in it, but two reasons. One, it'll keep me a little bit warm in this early couple of hours before we have our first meet-up of the JOGLE. We've got to meet up 2-3 times a day. Every day. I think there's about 100 meetups that we've scheduled, so this next one will be in 6 miles time when the camper van will be there. Hopefully it'll have warmed up and I can shed this what I'm calling motorway cops coats, because that's what it feels like. Yeah, also because I know there's a stretch of road, because we saw it yesterday on the way in, that looks a little bit dodgy regarding footpaths and the like. So the more visibility I've got, the better, and that's the two reasons for wearing that this morning. Anyway, enough of that. I'm going to just get my head down and get the next few miles out of the way. So I'm 3 miles exactly in, and I'm just entering the first, village or hamlet or whatever, Wick, since we left John O Groats. So this is the first sign of
humanity in the last 3 miles, and I'm struck by the countryside. I don't know what I did expect. I mean, I knew there was a lot of countryside, but you know, this is moorland, covered in heather, and I've seen heather before. I've seen it at the Lake District. I've seen it on the North Yorkshire moors, the Yorkshire Dales. I've seen it on the Derbyshire Dales. It's pretty much ubiquitous, I guess, to the northern part of England. And although we're 450 miles away from some of those spots, you know, it all looks very, very similar. Actually, I'm saying that, I've just walked past probably the most heather, and now I'm looking at a little bit of agriculture, or I think some sheep down there, but looks like there's some farm, and not as much more. The moor's obviously been cultivated at some point, but yeah, we've got a bit of a wind farm going on there. But yeah, as far as I can see, further back it was all heather, moorland, and now the landscape's slightly changing. It's very pleasant and not unlike, as I say, a walk in any of those places I mentioned at this moment in time. Well, here we are. This is it's an important moment. Our first pickup is my support team coming now. I spotted him on the hill. Our first of many rendezvous. Oh, brilliant. I probably stopped to get a quick drink there, and yeah, Auchengill were here, and that was the planned place to meet up with. I just pulled over there. There's a car coming now, so I've got to be careful. Concentrate a little bit, Gary. Yeah, that was fun. I wondered whether they'd be there before me, but we kind of got there to the point where we agreed at about the same time, so that's fabulous. That was great. Just a quick pit stop there, a couple of gulps of energy drink, just to wet me whistle, and we're off again. And next stop will be about 9 miles on from here at the town, or possibly in the city, probably a town of Wick. So that's quite. We drove through it, so I know that's got a bit of a retail vibe going on there. It's probably the biggest conurbation in this particular area, and that's Wick. Now down, you should be able to see the sea, the grass and the sea, and down there, actually people, you can't see them because they're too tiny for this, again, this GoPro, but that is the John O Groats trail. A lot of people who do this, there's a few people on it actually now. I can see several people walking along it, and some sort of monument down there as well. The John O Groats trail is for a lot of people the start of the John O Groats to Land's End walk. They choose to take the coastal path, and I think it's like 170 miles in length, but I've tried to choose a more direct road route, which, whilst not as pleasant as the trail down there along the cliff edges, much happier walking that would be, it does take longer, and a lot of what I'm trying to achieve is to get this done in a relatively short time for my old legs. So I'm foregoing the benefit of the pleasant walk along the cliff tops for a more arduous road walk. Hello, bird. Birds. Still overcast, surprisingly. Bit of blue sky up there. Not quite Simpsons, but yeah, getting there maybe. And as you can see, I've still got the big motorway cop coat on for visibility and a bit of warmth. It is warming up a bit now though. Maybe I'll take it off at Wick. So all that earlier heather that I was describing earlier has well and truly given way to more sort of pasture land, farms, a lot of cattle. I've passed quite a few fields with mothers and calves in in them, Highland cattle and others, as you'd imagine. Although I saw Highland cattle a few weeks ago in the Yorkshire Dales, so they're not just obviously found just in the Highlands. But it is interesting to see a beast that's in the habitat that it was named. Moved away from the coast as well now. I can't see any sign of the sea, and I'm about 5 miles from Wick, which is my next stop, and I'll meet the girls there, probably have a sandwich, maybe change my shoes, which are not a problem, but it was a little tip I was given, and I've never used the tip yet, which is change your walking shoes halfway through the day if you're able. And with having the old Mad Dog house, I'm able, so I'll give it a go. So I'm almost in Wick now, and very shortly our second rendezvous of the day, and in fact of course of the JOGLE charity hike. I'm really looking forward to seeing the girls. I think I'm going to have a sandwich, as I said. I'm ready for one now, and I think we'll meet at the market or the civic centre or something. I think that was what we what we agreed. Noisy. A little while ago when I saw them last. But yeah, so this looks like quite a big town. We must have driven through it on the way up, but I was in the back of the camper van at the time, so I didn't see an awful lot. But yeah, it looks like it's got plenty of amenities here for us. Nice braids, horse. And there endeth our second rendezvous. Here they come. And according to the schedule, I've got a little over 3 miles to do and I'm done for the day, but it's still quite early, not even 2 o'clock, just 2 o'clock, so I'm thinking maybe I could walk on with hope in my heart for another 2, maybe 3 miles. It'd be great to get that extra in the bank, as it were, over and above what we had in the schedule for today, because it'll all come in handy later when there's longer days, if I've knocked a few miles off further on. So that could be what I do today, but who knows when I get to the old smithy in up the Frontster in just over an hour's time. Who knows what sirens behind the bar might draw me in. I don't know. I'll try and be strong. Anyway, for now, bye bye. I'm rather pleased I've not got to cross this field. Anybody who knows me knows that sometimes I'm quite brave with cattle, but when they're skittish like this, he looks a feisty one. When they're skittish, as these ones appear to be, they're very unpredictable as to what they may want to do. There's some over here, and they'll run towards you, and it's not just because I've got a yellow motorway cop coat on. It wouldn't really matter what I was wearing. If they choose to become inquisitive and run towards you, it can be quite a scary sight, particularly as people often killed on hikes, and when I say often, I mean possibly as often as a couple of 3 people a year. I think the biggest culprits are actually cows with calves, of which we saw quite a few earlier on. These are more, these are male. These are bullocks. But yeah, that little group's gone over there now. They're not sure about what I am, but earlier they were charging towards me, and then they got a little bit frit, and they decided to back off. But I'm glad there's a barbed wire fence between me and they. Guess I'll see a lot of roadkill on the trip. That's a poor deer. But, that hasn't made it. So hence the first day here at the old Smithian, where we'd planned to stay for the night. Not in the inn itself, but we've got the camper van just round the back. It's a lovely place. Obviously old Smithian, it must have been a smithy at some time. Got off to a bit of a bad start because they don't allow dogs in, so Archie's not happy, but yeah, the camper's all ensconced there for the evening, so we'll be fine there, and then we're going to eat in there this evening. Yeah, a little tradition I'm just going to start. I had a nice malt yesterday in Land's End, and I just thought I would try a little tipple all the way down the route for the local brew. So obviously in this part of the world it's the Scotch whiskey, and so that's what I'm going to do. Have another little malt whiskey before I start doing a little bit of work on the website and some other bits and pieces I've got to do. Yeah, so I finished on 22.1 miles. I didn't do the extra 3 miles that I was going to do down that road there, which would have been handy because it would have meant I'd have been 3 miles ahead of my schedule, because we finished at 3:15, but my support team knocked off, so that's just that made my mind up for me. So that's basically it for today. Bye. Good morning, it's your old mad dog here, and it's day 2 of our JOGLE charity hike. Behind me, not behind you, behind me is the sign for the old Smithian, and that's where we stayed last night, and it was very pleasant evening, and followed by a film we watched in the camper van. So yeah, all round very nice. About 8:15 now. Going to set off to a place called Lybster. It's about 10 miles from here, and that'll be the first rendezvous point of today with the girls and Archie. So for now, bye. This is amazing. They've just caught me. I think it's the yellow coat that does it, and all these sheep all over this field. I'm just outside Thumpster where we stayed last night, and I've got a mile, maybe 2 miles now. But they've all come running across the field. They think I'm breakfast, or the provider of it. It's brilliant. Sorry girls and young'uns, I can't help you. Oh, look at these. They're lovely. I ain't got nothing for you, I'm sorry. I had a tea cake myself for a cup of coffee. I know. Oh my god. Okay. Bye. Bye sheep. And now it appears we have the bovine version of of the Pied Piper leading the animals. And yeah, here they come. Yep, you won't want to be in that field. Definitely not. And I've got a very close friends of mine who certainly wouldn't. Oh, I've had enough already. That's okay. Okay guys, bye bye. Yes horses, it's a lonely old business, the old long distance walking. You know, you find yourself with nobody to chat with and help the miles melt away. Find yourself talking to all sorts of critters, and that's right for you two, you've got each other. And doubtless you'll be very happy together. But anyway, I've got to go now. Bye bye. Bye bye horses. I'm oh, you tripped up there. Yeah, I'm just walking into the town of Lybster, and if our plans have gone to plan, I should be meeting up with the support girls and the camper van very shortly, because this is the place we said we meet. I think it's called the Portland Hotel. Looked like they had, yeah, Lybster. Should show you that. Looks like from the aerial shot on Google Maps that they've got a fair sized car park, so there shouldn't be a problem getting parked up there. And I'll get a chance for a quick drink and then change my shoes and move off for the second part of the day. And incidentally, that little tip that I'd learnt and used yesterday did some work. I don't know the science behind it, it's probably psychological, but my feet were starting to get a bit tired after about 15 miles. But I caught up with the van for I think our second rendezvous of the day yesterday. Changed my shoes over, and even though they'd been a little bit tired, they felt like they were fresh again, and went on and did another what did we do, another 7-8 miles without no ill effects at all. So far so good on the feet, and it's all feeling good. All of a sudden there's a lot of traffic on this road now, much quieter earlier. Yeah, and including on the traffic front, my support team in the old Mad Dog house camper, they went flying past me about 5 minutes ago, tooting the horn, waving. I'm going to meet them in about 5.5 miles at the campsite, and hopefully there I can get some lunch and try and change my shoes. It is funny really, I'm not cross with them. Okay then. And now for the first time since Saturday, when we passed around them, I can see the mountains again coming into view. That's a good sight. It lets me know we're well on our way now. Now we can view those Highland mountains. We've also got a Simpson sky at last. Oh homie, and it looks like wearing this coat a bit of overkill now, because it's actually come out really warm. So can't wait to get to the campsite to get rid of this coat and get something a bit lighter on for the afternoon's walking. I think that's what's needed now, because I really do feel warm in this now. So this is another sad walk today. I've decided to do 26.2 miles as a marathon to attribute it, a memorial to my brother-in-law Paul, who died a year ago today, and is very much missed. A zany guy, full of energy, and he died very suddenly and very young, and it was a shock to everybody. 12 months ago it came out of the blue for us all, and so we remember you, Paul, today, and I'm walking for you. You're my thoughts. We had some good fun. Particularly remember Ben's wedding and our silly dance we did. I think we've still got that on tape somewhere. But yeah, so after John's memorial walk yesterday, and today it's for Paul, and I've just popped into the campsite. I've had a bite of lunch. and oh, it's very busy now all of a sudden. It's the place called Dunbeath, the birthplace of Neil M. Gunn, the Neil Gunn Memorial. I don't know that particular gentleman. Maybe it's something I can look up later, but obviously he's well remembered in these parts. So yes, it's a walk for Paul. I've got another 10 miles to do now. I was just going to do 7 and finish off the day with 7, but it just struck me he was full of energy. He's only a little guy, smaller than me, and that's saying something. Yeah, a bit of a marathon man, and I thought, yeah, I think that's fitting that we do a marathon walk from 26.2. So that's what I'm doing. You'd be mistaken for thinking. You'd be mistaken for thinking that all the road, well, like I was, that all the roads up here, you know, out in the wilds of Scotland, up in the Highlands here, would be cart tracks. You know, okay, I'm exaggerating, maybe not cart tracks, but certainly rough and ready sort of trails. And this is the sort of quality of road. There's not a pothole to be seen. I mean, some further back there, beautifully tarmacked. They look quite new roads. They've probably been here 30 years or more, but to me, this bit's in the pavement, which for me walking this, it's like heaven. It really is heaven beneath my feet, walking on a pavement. Fantastic, but the roads are really good. Whether that was EU money from years ago, helping out the districts of Scotland, I don't know, but it's certainly a possibility that they've been given granted finances for road improvements. I've got to tell you, from whereabouts I live in the north of Lancashire, they put our roads to shame. you imagine the barking. Some dog's gone absolutely wild to get at me. I like the sheep better. It's safer with sheep. You know where you are with sheep. They don't mess you about. So this is the view I'm getting. Hoping you're getting some sense of the splendour of it all. It's wonderful. The sun is out. It is warm. I've discarded the motorway cop coat in favour of a little jacket and a little vest I'm now wearing for the first time. A little running vest. Got my water in here. GoPro goes in there. Lip balm. I don't really use lip balm, but I got it for nothing from the shop, so I thought I'd clip it on. Who knows? Who knows? My lips might get chapped at some point in the future. But this is absolutely gorgeous walking. If anything, probably a little bit too warm now, but you know, beggars can't be choosers, can they? And there's that old ditty I remember from school days. As a rule, a man's a fool. I'm doing a Scottish accent. As a rule, a man's a fool. When it's hot, he wants it cool. When it's cool, he wants it hot. He's always wanting what is not. So that sort of sums me up today. It was a bit on the cooler side, but it was nice for walking. But this isn't too bad, really. It stayed like this for the next 38 days. Yeah, dream on. But let's make the most of it while we can, whilst it's very pleasant. Well, I've just come down a very long and very steep, you see there, low gear 1 mile. It's 1 mile long and it's very steep, and it sort of culminates in this, or terminates in this, with this bridge, this river here. There's a memorial there to the village fallen, and there's also a jewellery shop and a little cafe just down behind those trees there. So there's the first, literally for miles and miles, the first little bit of anything that I've come across. But now, and I could see it from the other side of the hill, this is the climb, and in just the same way it's low gear for 1 mile. This is going to be some steep climb, and I'm hoping that the last couple of months training is now going to come into effect, because it looked one hell of a climb. Cars look like they're struggling getting up it. I hope the camper van when it comes can, because it's going to have to collect me to take me back to the campsite when I've finished this next. Where are we now? Okay, so we've got about just over 3 miles to the finish. I might be finished when I've done this climb. Yeah, I'm only part of the way up it, virtually not really very far at all, but I'm just going to come back on to show this gravel pit here, which if you haven't been out in the countryside or where there are these very, very steep hills, you get them up in the Pennines, you get them in parts of the Lake District, I'm sure in the Peak District too. Anyway, it's really steep, sharp, because if somebody's brake goes and you're hurtling down that road, you've got no chance, you can't control the car. So what you do is you come off here screaming screaming, and you hopefully can navigate your way onto the track here, just off the road onto here. And by the looks of these tracks here, and there's several of them, there's quite a few skids and slides. Cars have actually, the brakes have given way at some point. I don't know how often they rake this over, if indeed they ever do, but it's frightening thought that you'd be plunging down there, and the only thing that's going to stop you is driving into this gravel. As I say, it looks like there's quite a few marks there. I hope they're all right. Well, I think I've topped out now. I think you can't really tell from here, I'm guessing, but from the far distance the hill comes down, drops into a valley, and then it's a climb all the way back out again. And I'm quite pleased with myself how I've got on with that. Must be those hours on that treadmill with the with the ascent angle at the maximum. I spent a lot of time on that for just this occasion, but there's many more big hills to come, and probably bigger than, well, certainly bigger than this, but it was a good test. I'm glad it's over. Well, this is the last part of Paul's marathon day. I decided to jog the last bit. I have to admit, it has been partly downhill, and I must admit it looks like it's going to be flat to the end. I wouldn't fancy running it up the hill, but we're nearly at 26 now, so thinking a lot about you, mate. Only quarter of a mile. Oh, yeah, I fell over then, looking at the watch. You don't get an actual finish line with this malarkey and all that jazz. It's good. Trust your Garmin. Almost there. I've never run a marathon, but I've walked a few. So this is the nearest I've ever got to finish it a marathon running. And that's it. Rest in peace, good buddy. Thinking about you. So that's the end of day 2. I'm back at the campsite here. Lovely little campsite. I've been left. I think Adele's gone for a shower. Dad's got to move cardboard. Archie's on it. Archie. Yeah. Yeah, 26.2 miles was the distance today, which was in memory of my brother-in-law we lost a year ago today, and I just got it into my head that I wanted to do a marathon for the Marathon Man. What a lovely guy. And that's why we did 26.2 today. I'm not quite sure where that puts us on the schedule. I think we're slightly ahead of where we plan to be. I think it puts us about just shy of 50 miles in for the 2 days we've done. So I think if we look at the map of Scotland now, up in that northeast corner, we might actually see a little line where we've been. I've just had a shower, by the way. I've got a red face. I feel a bit more human now. Yeah, so an opportunity to show the camper van, which is, it's always kept tidy. The girls keep it really, really nice. And I think we're going to have something to eat shortly, which will be fantastic. I'm starving. So what have I learnt today? A lot. What I would say, though, the stereotypical idea that Scots people are mean is total bunkum. Because, you know, last night we were giving donations in the pub we ate at. We've got donations just for pulling up on a car park. We saw the sign on the van, and he put £5 in the £5 coins into Adele's hand. And, you know, we had donations last night as well. It was yeah, so it's not true. They've been very generous, and we're looking forward to day 3 tomorrow. And tomorrow we're in a car park again, with no facilities, so making the most of the electric we've got now, and the showers and toilets and everything. But for now, it's bye bye.